All right, everyone, we are here with two very special guests. We are joined by Iris and Pepe from Love Island, USA. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you
you.
for having us.
We're excited to talk to you guys. I know it's been a whirlwind. Can you kind of describe what the last few days have been like outside the villa, back to the real world, back to LA?
Super overwhelming, but filled with love. And it's been really good to be home. I really missed home and my family and my friends and everything. So it's really nice to be back.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it must be nice for you guys that like while all the islanders are all kind of in LA and you doing things and hanging out, LA is also home for you guys. So it's like you really do get to go home. It's not just like, oh, we're all in LA. How has
Yeah.
the reaction been like from your families?
Um, Kind of the same as ours, overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I think they're a little less overwhelmed because they saw everything. Like every time I tell them that I'm just in shock of what's happening, they're like, "Yeah, we went through that phase like 3 weeks ago. We kind of saw everything happening." And but I think they're just like us, overwhelmed but excited that we're back home and excited to see us and be with us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very exciting that you guys are home now. And you guys are, I assume, are staying where you live and not with the other Islanders.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're staying at our homes and
Yeah.
they're staying all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pepe, we just saw that you went on the toast and you talked a little bit about your relationship already. And, not to go right off the bat, but you were asked if you guys are exclusive and, what's going on. You said that's kind of how you date. What would you say where you guys stand right now?
I don't think anything's changed with that answer,
Hmm.
right?
Um,
Just more
Yeah.
because Iris is now sitting with you.
Yeah.
So to hear from Iris as well.
Yeah, I think that we're just, focused on each other and trying to explore each other on the outside and see how our lives are and try to spend a lot of time together. And it's just exciting to be in the real world and not cooped up in a house together and like you could go do like normal things together.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's like you still have all the eyeballs on you, which we
Yeah.
saw in Iris. You just experienced firsthand. You've been
Yep.
TMZ'd. Well,
Yeah.
welcome to the world.
Yeah, that was
Um,
crazy.
yeah. What's your kind of response to that video and everybody seeing you kind of reunite with TJ?
I just, the whole time I was in the villa, I was just thinking like I need to have some closure with him and like about everything because there's a lot of like time that goes between like, I didn't want him to think like I moved on really quickly, so I had to like explain that to him and like he knew because he knows how everything works and everything, but I just wanted to give him the closure that we both needed.
Hmm. Yeah. So to talk about both of your journeys, you mentioned with TJ, we did see TJ get sent home, and we saw you very, very upset about TJ getting sent
Yeah.
home. And then, from the looks of it, it kind of looks like things moved fast, like you said. Yeah. Can you kind of take us through that, how it went from, being really upset about TJ to then kind of exploring with Pepe?
Yeah, so I, was obviously very upset that TJ went home and how everything happened. It was like very shocking, and in the moment, I was like, wow, the first connection I really got to experience didn't really last that long, but the amount of time that I did get to experience it was amazing, and so that just really like hurt me that that's how it ended up, ending. And then there was like time that went on, and like Pepe and I had conversations, and we were like, we knew each other. We were like best friends in the villa. And then we had like deeper conversations that we didn't really necessarily have like while we were, because Pepe was exploring other people as well. And then when we had those conversations, we were like, oh, we kind of like each other. And
Yeah.
then it just like grew from there, like really quickly.
Yeah. And we saw that unfold. And obviously, we're going to talk about your guys' connection together. Was there
Yeah.
any part of you that thought about leaving with TJ?
Yeah, so right when everything was happening, I'm like, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. There's nothing like I feel like there's not going to be anything there for me. Like no one's going to walk in at this point. Like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I need to leave. And then some of the girls and some of the team was like, you should stay, like there might be something there for you. And lo and behold, there was.
Yeah, I think watching that vote was really emotional, and the audience had a big reaction to it, and kind of looking into or thinking into where everybody stood and kind of what that meant.
Yeah.
Were you at all angry with some of the other girls and their decisions? Because I know watching, I was like, oh my God, I would have thought some of these girls would have stood behind TJ in support of Iris, and they didn't. And from what we saw, it looked like, you were upset TJ left, but you weren't necessarily upset with the other girls. But were there any conversations that you had with those girls that we just didn't see?
Yeah, so I was upset. I was like, why are none of my friends standing behind me and supporting my connection? Like they know how strongly I felt about him and I was really in shock. I really thought that they were gonna be right behind me. And I did have conversations with them and it's a really hard decision to make when you're voting for your friends and you want to support everybody. You don't want someone to have no one standing behind them. And I think that their thought process was like they were thinking for themselves and like what they wanted to do. And like obviously that's very upsetting, but it is a really big decision that you have to make. And like I was upset. I did express how I felt. But it just I didn't want to stay mad at them for that because, what's the point in that? There's no good in that. It's
Mm-hmm.
whatever is done, and I expressed myself and said my piece and just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
you,
know how I felt, and they
right.
apologized.
And then TJ was sent home, and the TMZ, we saw that you guys had, I'm sure, just a discussion where you were like, this is, it was nice in the villa, but this isn't
Right.
going to go any
Are we
further.
leaving it as friends with him? Like, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're leaving it as friends with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure he probably put that together
yeah,
too.
I think he put two and two together. Pepe, and then before Iris, we saw your connection with Hannah and then a little bit with Grayson. Can you take us through that journey a little bit? Hannah was sent home from the villa. As viewers, we were all like in shock. We were all very upset that Hannah was sent home, and you were upset as well. And then you connected with Grayson a little bit in Casa, but then decided to close that off because I think you were maybe still feeling things for Hannah. So can you take us through that journey of what you were feeling?
Yeah, it's kind of, I think this season you didn't really have an option as to who you wanted to stay, right? It was a lot of America and a lot of also the Islanders afterwards. It was a lot of like top three, bottom threes and all of that. And then the Islanders choosing who stays. So everybody I think was upset when somebody left. And then no matter what, you're always upset when people leave. But moving on, like, like everything, some days you kind of have more time to move on. And for me, it was like Hannah left literally 2 hours later, we start Casa. So it
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah,
like,
it was quick.
yeah, it was very quick. So it was a tough one. And then I coupled up with Grayson in Casa, and she's amazing. She's super sweet girl. And I said it to everybody in the villa, and it took me a couple of days to you can't just move on in a day or two. Although a day or two in villa time, it feels a lot
Yeah, it was like
longer.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still you needed some time. So after a couple of days, I gave Grayson my all, and I tried to just explore that. And it honestly wasn't anything about Hannah. The reason I just didn't feel a spark. I didn't feel that true connection. I told myself I don't want to be in the villa in this like high stress yet fun environment if I don't have someone that I'm truly feeling. Like what you're there for is to find a connection, not just with the boys, but with the girl, a girl as well, right? And I wanted her to make sure that she could have that experience that I had, the highs, the lows, the fun times, the awful times. And I didn't want to take that away from her. So I made that decision of, you know what, it was a hard conversation to have with somebody because you're dealing with somebody's emotions, you're dealing with them. But, I want to have the decision and kind of tell her, look, this isn't because of Hannah, this isn't because of anything. It's just I'm not feeling it. I didn't feel that spark. All the people in there were amazing, but I told her I want her to be able to explore, and she did tell me that it is hard to explore with me being in the vicinity.
Right.
So I decided, you know what, probably easier if, probably better for her and better for me because I don't want to just drag things along.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. And then you two came in together as bombshells. And we always question when watching Love Island, we're like, the bombshells are never talking with each other. It's kind of like this unspoken thing. And
Yeah.
then, you guys explored that connection through your friendship after. Was it something you had been thinking in the back of your head at all? Or were you like, oh, wait, I put this to the side because we were bombshells together?
So I'll say it definitely is. I would say it's an unspoken rule for sure, where bombshells do not talk to bombshells, and you explore the villa. That's what you're a bombshell to do. You're in there to shake things up, to break things apart, to
Get to know everybody.
right,
I
get to
think,
know everybody in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say, like, I think the bombshells perspective is like you want to talk to everybody. Like we both kind of have the same perspective on like going into the villa. We want to get to know everybody, we want to talk to everybody, and then eventually I was thinking in my head, then we can get to know each other.
it just
It just took a
Yeah.
while.
then I took a path, and then she took another path, and I
Yeah.
was on another path, and then
Right.
but I've said it before and I'll say it every time. The second I saw her walking in, I was like, she's beautiful. And then I had the most conversations with her as well. When you walk in,
Yeah.
you
Debrief.
right, you
Right.
debrief with your bombshell. So it was me, her, and Jalen continuously debriefing.
Everything.
Um, and you get to know them through those debriefs. You get to know how they think, how they speak. Um, yeah, and I always said it. I thought she was an amazing girl from all that. But again, bombshells don't explore bombshells. You explore the villa. So
Yeah.
once we went our separate ways, it was just we never knew if we were gonna get back to it.
Right, exact. No, that is very true. It has always seemed like an unspoken rule for sure. I think, when you're watching, everything is moving so quickly as well. So the audience is used to seeing you in different couples, and then all of a sudden it seemed romantic between you guys, and you get feedback like, whoa, that seemed like a crazy switch up. Now all of a sudden they're romantic. Where did that come from? What
Yeah.
were the conversations like between you two that we didn't really see where you were able to get to that romance part?
I feel like it was after the challenge when we kissed that kind of like made us more comfortable with like, or actually, no, I think it was like when we were talking and I laid on his lap.
Yeah,
And because I'm a very touchy person and I'm like, if I like you, like I'm gonna like be close to you. So I think, and I told Pepe this, I was like, I always threw like little crumbs at him, like, like the heart rate challenge, like, I was like, I always thought he was really cute as well. So, um,
I didn't pick up on any of those.
yeah, but he would do stuff for me too. I feel like he would always like check
Yeah,
in on me, ask if I was okay. Like, do you want anything to eat? If no one made me breakfast, Pepe made me breakfast, and like we would like comfort each other. Um, so I think those were like little signs of like, oh, you
yeah.
know?
Definitely.
We're going to take it back to, the beginning a little bit, which feels so, far away from now when
Yeah.
America voted for you to be with Jeremiah and you were
Yeah.
like maybe exploring with Ace at that point.
Feels like a different
And
show.
it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
What was the reaction immediately? Because that was the first time we got a little insight to
Crazy.
what America had been up to. Because it was kind of like, what the hell just happened?
I was like, what? Why did this happen to me? And what does this mean? Like, do they want to see us together? Am I being sacrificed? Am I being like, are they trying to just split them up? Like, I don't understand what's going on because, I don't know what's going on the outside. All I'm seeing is just Huda and Jeremiah like not get along. So I'm like, I only could imagine what those conversations were like on camera. So for me, I felt like I was trying to figure out what this meant. And that's why I was like, at first I was like exploring with him and I was like, okay, like our conversations are good, but there's not really like a spark there. And then he kind of just turned into like my bestie. And I was like, oh, like he's like a sweet guy, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just a very, very shocking. Like my first thought in my head was, what the hell does this mean? Why is this happening? Why would they do this?
Yeah. Did you
You
feel
know?
like you were getting the short end of the stick at
Oh
times during the
yeah.
season? Because
Oh yeah.
that happened, and then, TJ gets sent home, and it's kind of like you're just trying to find a connection, but the way the voting is going.
Yeah, and I was like, am I ever gonna pick somebody? Or is this like even in Casa, I didn't pick the guy.
Hmm.
The whole time I didn't get to pick until the name thing. And then even then, actually the whole time the first time I actually got to pick was Pepe. Really? Like the words that came out of my mouth, I would like to couple up with this boy.
Hmm.
But before that, I never said that once. I never was able to pick anybody. And everyone just like picked me, or America picked me to be with someone, or I was alone most of the time. Like I was
Hmm.
sitting alone and I was like, geez, I thought my Love Island experience was gonna be so different.
Hmm.
I thought I was gonna cuddle and like have fun and be coupled up in challenges. I didn't think I was gonna be like so alone,
Hmm.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Well, they really did. It felt like inside the villa, it was pushed so hard of everyone stay open, explore your
Yeah.
connections. If you start to find a connection, it was like, well, now you have your connection, and we're voting you
Yeah.
like, and you're leaving, you're not staying.
I
And
think, yeah.
yeah,
I was
no,
gonna
go ahead, go ahead.
I think that that's because everyone in the villa kind of wasn't thinking about it as like it's a game. We were
Hmm.
thinking about it as like this is this really special experience and we want to find the best connection. So like everyone needs to like that's what I feel like was our thought process,
Yeah,
right? Like we were really thinking of like this isn't like a
Yeah.
social experiment
yeah,
almost. We gotta, we're
right,
all in for a reason. Like we gotta explore each other. We can't just like play it safe.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it felt like when you kind of close things off with somebody very quickly, that you were just playing it safe. And I
Hmm.
think we all went in with the mindset of that explore, explore, explore mindset. And the second that somebody felt like, oh, you're done exploring and we still have 4 weeks left in the season, like you're clearly doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that's where all this drama of a bunch of people being dumped from the villa that
right.
had strong connections. But it is true. I think in a sense, it's when you're alone and not alone, but when you're in a situation like the being in the villa and you feel comfortable with one person, you're kind of afraid to leave,
Explore.
yeah, to continue because you're like, oh, I really feel comfortable with him, and I'm finally happy that I can
Yeah,
have these nighttime and morning time conversations. And when there's a little bit of downtime, I can hang out with my person, I can hold my person. So it is a little like, do I want to explore? So I think we played it right, and I think
right.
we did it right with, the way we chose,
Yeah.
you know.
That's was I was gonna ask. Do you feel like you really like exhausted all your options and stayed open? Like, do you feel like you got the most out of your Love Island experience?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think for sure.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
mean,
did. I talked
Yeah.
to every single person.
yeah.
I had like 2 hour conversations with each person. And I was really like looking for that spark with conversations. Like if I didn't feel it, I was like, all right, just send me home at this point because if I don't feel something, like I really can't fake it. Like
Hmm.
I truly can't. And I at one point, I think during Casa, I was like, if TJ doesn't pick me, I'm ready to go home. Like, like this is just like a crazy um, experience.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
we definitely did it. I mean, from again, the unspoken rule of not exploring bombshells and then we walk out together. So
Hmm.
I
yeah,
think we definitely went all the way around the table on
Yeah.
what we could possibly explore.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then with the finale, with the voting, how it played out, we saw you guys came in fourth. What was your guys' reaction during that finale and how the voting played out?
Honestly, I was just happy. I
Hmm.
think both of us went in and we didn't really care about, I mean, you've heard it already today. We didn't really care about how long we stayed, or we just wanted to make sure we were able to enjoy our time there. So finale came and I remember telling everybody like, hey, no matter what, let's just enjoy whoever wins
Hmm.
because we're all deserving of it. We're all here. We all are having a good time. We all had a great time, even with the ups and downs. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things that it's like we're just happy. We were happy
Hmm.
to be there no matter what. We were happy to be with the other six contestants that were there and the other that ended up becoming family, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw you dive right into that pool.
Hey, you know what? It was a long day. I was to wake up a little bit.
Pepe, I have to ask you because it has kind of become a TikTok trend. Is your normal type blondes?
I don't have a type. I think attractive is attractive, but I would say I closed my mind off of like, this is my type. Um, and I kind of just said, let me explore people for who they are, just putting everything aside.
Mhm.
And I ended up realizing I went with the sweetest girls every time.
Oh.
That is, they were,
So
that
yeah,
is so true.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if you had seen any of those videos of, girls going to the salon and they're
Yeah.
like, I'm getting that Pepe
Yeah, they're like,
blonde
I'm
for the
going
summer."
Pepe blonde for
Yeah.
the summer.
You know what? They're all hilarious. But the
Yeah.
one that was funniest is when I posted a video of my dog and they go, of course he gives the blonde dog a hug first. I was like, it's my dog. Like,
I saw that. They said even the dog's blonde.
it's like, it's my dog. The other two are
Yeah.
not mine.
Yeah,
The other two are my sisters. They
it
don't miss me. My dog missed me.
yeah.
My dog.
It must be weird seeing everything now that you guys are out. Have you watched any of the episodes at all? And now Iris talking about the vote with Jeremiah. Are you kind of caught up as to why America voted that way?
From what I'm understanding, they voted. I'm called the sacrificial lamb, apparently. Which, yeah, I thought it was funny that, but also, why? Why, you guys?
Right. I
Um,
think after that happened, people were like, guys, we just like fucked up, Iris's journey right at the
yeah,
beginning. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, you guys ended up finding each other and
hmm
yeah.
that's what's most important. We'd love to wrap up. I want to ask you guys what your plans are in the next few weeks as you explore this relationship outside of the villa and you're both in LA. So what do you guys have planned between the two of you?
I think just to hang out, do things like you normally, like a regular couple would, you know? We got to spend a lot of time and we have this crazy experience that we can both reflect on, that kind of helps us bond a little bit tighter, obviously.
hmm
But yeah, just explore, do things like a normal couple would, go on little dates, try to do all the little things and pretend like nothing's really, no eyes are around us
Yeah.
and just enjoy it, enjoy
Yeah.
each other's company, enjoy the time together and
Just be normal.
yeah, and just
hmm
see what happens.
Yeah.
In and out and the beach, you guys are gonna have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
We have to do that, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It seems like it's gonna be a little bit harder than than expected. I
You
didn't
might
know
Yeah, you
what
might
was
have to you might have to drive to a different beach.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you guys can make that happen, and thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys so much. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Really
course.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you guys.
Nice meeting you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Nice meeting
Bye.
you guys
Nice
too.
meeting you.
Bye.